Ultimate MK Podquest.
In each of us, there burns the soul of a podcaster. In every generation, a few are chosen to prove it. Long ago, that fate compelled two friends to watch and discuss every piece of Mortal Kombat media they could find. Now, Corey and Neil must join forces to rewatch every episode of Mortal Kombat Conquest in a new way.
MK Podquest.
Commentaries.
Well, you might still have old man brain from that old water.
Nah, my brain was pretty much fine.
I told you not to drink it.
I was thirsty. What more reason do you need?
You were thirsty. You had just mainlined all the Jackass movies, and you were like, I'm going for it.
Well, I think it's more like if you look at what sort of gave me the blueprint, which would be Mortal Kombat Conquest, they just drank it because they were thirsty.
Another controversy here. Mortal Kombat Conquest causing kids all over the country to drink old water.
Is old water like heavy water? Like, what's the distinction that we're making here?
Well, specifically, it's the water that makes you turn old.
Right, but do we know anything about the age of the water?
Well, Mortal Kombat Conquest was 500 years ago, so
no, but for them
old.
it would have been contemporary water.
That's what I'm.
So, like, was it old at the time?
No, it was contemporary water at the time, but for us, it's old water.
But so it could be old water for them, but still contemporary.
Yes,
because it makes you old.
Yes, yes. For them, it's old
and
water.
And that's not a product of it being old.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we need to watch the episode again?
No. This is just a clarification. Well, because you could make the argument that then for it to be old water now, it wouldn't have to be 500 years old. It just has to make you old.
Right, but they stopped making it, so it's kind of like when you go on
Who's
eBay.
Who's they?
Shang Tsung. It's kind of like when you go on eBay and you like buy an old soda, right? It's still sealed. You get like your can of Surge or get your can of Coca-Cola Citra, and yeah, it's like that. You just got it's old water, but it's also old water, right?
Capital O old.
Yeah.
And lowercase o old.
It's actually tab clear or whatever we talked about that one time.
Anyway, I had coronavirus.
Oh, the secret's out.
Yeah, people are getting coronavirus all kinds of places.
Yeah, drinking old water.
Real quick.
You okay, man?
Yeah.
All right, you need some water? Some regular water?
I just took a drink. Okay. I'm fine.
All right. Just checking in.
No, like, because I haven't had any lingering symptoms, so it's not related to that.
Right.
Like, I just got up one day and it was fine.
It's related to the fact that we're doing this early.
Yeah, and I slept with my windows open, but one of my roommates had turned the AC on, so I think I also just slept in what ended up being the cold by accident.
Oops.
Because it was like 800 million fucking degrees outside.
Jesus.
Most of the day, but then it cooled down at night, and I didn't account for that. That's not interesting.
It's all right.
That's just an explanation as to why I think I feel how I currently do.
I don't even think we're in the episode yet. We're still getting our groove back.
Are we not? I thought some of that might have been it, but
some of it probably will be. But it doesn't have to be either.
I mean, I don't have an idea for an opening bit, so if you do, by all means.
Well, we were checking the time here on our favorite website, time.is.
It's time.is? Are you a fucking psycho? Time.is?
Yeah.
Why would it be .is?
Why not? Well, because that's how you spell is. Like, what do you...
No, but like, why would it... Like, you don't say twitter.com.
No, but you might say amazon.ca.
Yeah, but this isn't a top-level domain for a country called, like, it's that time.
Right, but this is the most important website. It controls time.
Well, it tells you what the time is.
Universally, though.
So it's time.is, because it's also what the time is.
It also grades you on how accurate your own clock is.
Yeah, usually it's not good.
Yeah, I'm 0.041 seconds ahead right now.
I'm 3.5 seconds behind.
Holy shit. See, this is what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. Time.is. Fine. Whatever.
It knows what time it is.
Oh, I get it now.
Another thing that shut up. Another thing that time.is does is it tells you about various international holidays.
Yeah, this is how we found our bat.
It is actually how we did find our bat. That is correct.
You know what? We haven't talked about our bat on the podcast yet.
At all? So that
No.
sentence just meant nothing to anybody who heard it?
No, we talked about wanting to adopt a bat. We didn't announce on the podcast. We did. We did, in fact, sponsor a bat from batworld.org. Benger the Avenger. Folks, we stayed true to our word, and we did it. We helped the bats.
Yeah. I don't know. Yes, we did.
Yeah, man. Batworld.org. Little Benger the Avenger. God, I watched that video, and I legit cried. The story of Benger. That's not even a joke.
No, I believe you told me.
And I sent it to Sarah, and I was like, this made me cry. And she goes, I'm learning that different things make us cry.
We have different thresholds for crying.
Yeah, she's like, I don't cry at the same things you do. And I was like, okay, right. She didn't feel anything for this little bat boy.
I mostly cry at Mortal Kombat Conquest, but I mute my mic for that.
Smart. That's what, if there's any weird silences in the commentaries of these, it's just because Corey's
Sobbing.
absolutely bawling. Yeah, sobbing out of control. But what do we learn today on time.is? There, I did it again.
Yep, you certainly did. This is a real adjustment intro, huh? Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
On this most important day, May 15th, it is International Day of Families. Could not come at a better time for our purposes.
Because we will be talking about the Fast and the Furious movies.
Rimshot, gunshot.
Oh, yeah, I'm on a different page. I'll put it in post. Yeah, we're kicking off, I think, 2 weeks in a row of just some good, solid Black Dragon content between this episode of Mortal Kombat Conquest and the U.S. Special Forces comics we're talking about next time. This is Black Dragon Weeks, and this episode of Conquest involves the what did we call them on your podcast yesterday? The sinister and seductive.
I don't think I said sinister. I don't remember what I said.
Siblings of the Black Dragon.
Fuck, I don't know. I'd have to listen to it again.
You haven't listened to it enough.
The outro?
Oh yeah, you mostly just listen to the intro.
Yeah. The intro is the good bit.
It's very good. Everyone go listen to yesterday's episode of They Made Another One. There was some prestige level podcast
TMAO
bits.
After Dark about the movie Gator Bait 2 Cajun Justice. On which I am not a part on account of the coronavirus, but
Yeah.
I show up in other ways.
And then that one leads right into this one. So,
Directly into this one. It's really the part one of this episode, if you think
it
about
kind of is. So go check that one out. At least the beginning and the end.
You're gonna miss the lore.
Yeah. Yeah, this episode of Conquest is actually a sequel to that movie. Gator what's it called? Gator Bait 2?
Yeah, that's correct. Cajun Justice.
Hey, remember a few weeks ago when I showed you how at the mini golf place near my house you can hold a gator?
I did. I do remember that.
That's some good synergy there too.
Yeah.
You want to just jump into this episode all about family?
I guess, because we've been circling the drain for the last 10 minutes. So.
On today, the International Day of Families, we're going to talk about the Black Dragon family.
Get it, listeners? We planned this. We looked at the time.is calendar for weeks out, and we're like, when do we start doing the commentary episodes? And also getting coronavirus. And we decided that the best way to thread the needle was to time it out so we would perfectly line up with International Day of Families.
Let's get right into it. Mortal Kombat Conquest, Episode 7, Debt of the Dragon. Let's find out who our combatant of the week is.
The combatant of the week.
Jola and the Black Dragon. Oh, it's Jola and the Black Dragon.
Damn, you're only naming Jola.
Cabral doesn't do anything. We'll get into it. Are you ready? I'm going to count it down. Ready to roll, Corey? Round 7. 3, 2, 1, fight. I love a Zhujin night.
Jujin After Dark, if you will.
Zhujin After Dark. Oh, this is where
Daniel
Where,
Bernhardt just yells at a guy.
yeah, he's trying to fleece a monk. I know who this monk is. Hold on, I have notes.
It's Master Lee.
It is, yeah, that's the wrong page of notes.
We're trying it. It's like they're thinking about getting a dog, where they're like, "Oh, we're just we're babysitting our neighbor's dog to see if we want to have a dog," but it's running a fucking business.
So this monk is Master Leal, played by James Sang Lee. This guy did stunts on WMAC Masters. We got to cover WMAC Masters at some point.
Yeah, at this rate, it's taking about as long as it took us to get to Pacific Blue, so I think it's fine.
More or less. We'll get to that pretty soon. This episode was directed by Jim Johnston, who directed episode 7 of Raven, The Death of Shirley, that co-starred Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell and Showgirls. And that episode of Raven was written by the Pacific Blue guys, the guys who made the show Pacific Blue. Perfect timing.
Oh, so it probably sucks. So it's probably bad because Pacific Blue was bad.
But it was like back when they were good at what they did.
Like Tasha said, commerce is just another word for burglary.
Okay, that's an important Zero line. And it's so true. Commerce is just another word for burglary.
Why does Zero feel so close in this close-up? It's as close to Kung Lao, but Zero feels so much closer because of the angle. I don't know why, but it's like he's like in the room.
Yeah. He wants to, it's because we want to kiss him.
Wah! Get it? Crying out loud.
His greed just like takes over. Zero's still just kind of an asshole at this point, right? Like, he's like full on in support of capitalism and still kind of a cop. Oh, shit.
We're closing. Come back in the morning.
He says it with the most like,
he's
who
so
the fuck
chill.
are you? Tone in his voice. It's so funny. Just like goes. She comes in and then she's like, "We're closing. Like, get the fuck out of here."
Come back tomorrow. The Black Dragon and Jola are here, everybody.
It belongs to the Black Dragon.
Oh, snap.
A reveal that only matters if you know what those words mean, and even then, they don't mean the same thing
Yeah.
anymore.
We're at the intro.
In each
Jola,
of us, a soul still burns.
You think that's where Soul Calibur got this from? Like,
Somehow
it's
I
very
feel like
similar.
I haven't made that joke yet in that way. And it's
not
been
in that way,
so
no.
long.
So Jola is played by Andrea Radutoyu. I
You had
think.
time to look up how to say that.
I did, but instead I just went down a rabbit hole of checking out her photography. And Andrea, she's like a fashion and art photographer now. You know, she transitioned from in front of the camera to behind the camera because she was also a model for a very long time. Her photography is pretty fucking good, dude. Yeah, I was impressed. I also watched the episode of Monk that she was on,
Okay.
where she gets murdered in the first 5 minutes. Like the opening scene of the episode is her getting murdered, and then she's not in the episode for the rest of it. So, but she did good. It was a good performance.
But it wasn't the Baron's to leave to his daughter.
What do you mean?
You obviously didn't know him very well. A gambler, a schemer.
I mean, he definitely sucked. We don't need to be reminded that Baron Raylan sucked.
Yeah, Baron Rayland absolutely sucked, and apparently was in deep with the Black Dragon. Just owed them all the money, and Joel is here to collect.
Thank God she's taking the Mortal Kombat comic book
Right.
approach of having said Black Dragon twice in the last 30 seconds.
She
just
also
in case
smelled-
you.
She also smelled that potion like how you smell everything you drink before you drink it.
That's how you know if the water's old or not.
You personally, Corey, that's what you do. How did that old water smell?
Honestly, it smelled like the Coke Space drink.
Starlight?
Yeah.
You drink old Coke Starlight.
I drink Old Space. How did those guys get up there so fast?
I don't know, but that's the villain. That's the second time we've seen bad guys standing up there. Noob Saibot did it first. Now the Black Dragon has done it.
I like how Zero was ready to just swashbuckle into the
Boom.
fucking room. Like,
Yeah, well, he's always dressed for it.
he is. Yeah, he's really just been waiting for an excuse to do that the whole time. Also, I do just find it funny how when the fight happens, Jola just has left the room, I guess.
Yeah, she's just not standing there anymore.
Kicking a dragon-shaped sword out of a guy's hand and then catching it in midair is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Kung Lao is not one with whom to fuck.
For whom the bell fucks. Is that anything? I don't know.
Sure, fuck it.
I do.
Man, oh, gross.
What?
I busted my knuckle open yesterday, and it's like one of those weird cuts where like a Band-Aid isn't going to stay on it, so I'm using liquid bandage, and I just got a good look at it, and it looks gnarly.
That's gross.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's all.
Man, he got kicked into those boxes so hard there was screen shake, like he's using Discord party mode.
Party mode.
Topical.
Bam, 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 bam. I'm on the wrong page. I'm going to put the air horns in later.
You are not on top of your game with these sounds today.
We're out of practice. Hold on. Let me fix it.
If we don't do this twice a week, we forget how to do it.
Yeah.
That's our secret.
And we never do it twice a week, so we always forget.
We're about to do it twice a week.
That's true. Look at the boys.
Also, it's really
Ready to
funny
fight.
when Cabral shows up and he's just dressed like a guy who came out of a completely different time and place. Like,
Like
he
he just
looks like
walked-
he just walked out of Blade.
Sure, or off the set of Poison Ivy, The New Seduction, in which he was starring.
It's just so bizarre. Also, for them to walk in and then them to instantly get in an argument.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a weird way to introduce these characters because it instantly makes neither one of them threatening.
Sure.
Because now it's
He
just
does-
like,
Oh man, is his face tattoo on the Taven side or the Dagon side? This is important. Because he's got a dragon tattoo on his face.
he does, and it looks like it was done with a Sharpie a little bit.
It is on, foreshadowing, dude. It's on the Dagon side. That's how you know he's a bad dude.
Why? They're gone.
For now.
Ciro's like, I want to fucking murder a guy so bad.
He is so horny for murder in this episode, dude. It's kind of nuts. Like I said, like he's still in his like fascist, his fascist capitalist mindset.
I do like Ciro being like, I know he's got history, but it's that thing where it's like he's saying it and it's like, it's this thing where I lost my train of thought. Never mind.
That's all right.
Tough in a commentary space to do that.
It's all right. He did just tell Kung Lao that the Black Dragon controlled the opium and the women and something else in Zhujian.
Oh, this
So,
is one of those classic reveals where Kung Lao hears about something for the first time that there's no way he should have never heard of.
Yeah. And hears about it from Ciro, just like he did with the Lin Kuei.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense that he has never heard of the Black Dragon if they're this prolific.
Oh God, I forgot about the Black Dragon dad. This guy
All
sucks.
3 at the trading post will die.
You've lost the element of
I'm
surprise.
gonna be honest. We give this episode a hard time. I'm kind of into the dramatic sincerity that Jola is playing her role, and of course I'm a big Greg Vaughn fan. Black Dragon Dad just kind of drags the whole thing down, honestly, in my opinion.
Times have changed. We must change too.
Why doesn't she get a face tat?
I don't know. Also, I am like really noticing that both her clothes and Cabral's clothes for sure look like they're from the future. Like they're just wearing 90s clothes.
Yeah,
like,
neither
off
of them
the rack.
are dressed for
This
the
is-
time period.
No, not even a little bit. That just shows you how like ahead of the game the Black Dragon were.
How forward thinking.
Yeah, man. They're trendsetters.
Do you think Jola went to like exchange school? Because
Probably.
she does not sound like the rest of the people in this room.
It's true. She
And
does
I
not
just-
look like her dad or her brother.
like in universe, I'm interpreting this as something like how American children are getting Peppa Pig accents.
Or like when Madonna adopted a British accent.
Did Madonna do that?
Yeah, when she was married to Guy Ritchie.
Oh, that's fun.
Is she still married to Guy Ritchie?
I don't fucking know.
It seems like.
Although,
seems
why
like a
does
tough-
why does Black Dragon Dad talk like this?
And I watched as a young man as they destroyed him
'Cause
from
he's
within.
not a great actor.
He's just a bit. It's real breathy.
That was mean of me. Who is Black Dragon Daddy?
Also, I gotta say, his face tat looks even worse than the other one does.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's not. The close-ups,
Dave
they're so
Corey?
committed to the close-ups, despite
Despite the tattoos not looking great.
that it just doesn't look good close-up.
Right. I want to say that this is Dave Corey. He doesn't have a photo on IMDb. But his name is Bannak, Bannak.
Bannak?
Yeah,
God, they were just on the fucking random name generator over there.
kinda. He did it in a Miami Vice episode. He was in Bad Boys 2 as an FBI agent named Eames. And on Burn Notice. Hey, man. All right. I'm assuming this is Dave Corey. Hey, that's your name.
I mean, I remember the way you treated me. Or at
Why
least tried.
why is Taj's first scene in this episode cleaning up a mess?
And also, just like mid-conversation,
Yeah.
just like,
And media res, as they say.
If the Black Dragon cares about what's legal or not, they kill us and take it. Unless we hit them first.
Let it go, Zero.
All right, again, this
This
is...
is-
Yeah.
I think we're about to say the same thing, so you go ahead and we'll see.
Actually, I guarantee we weren't, because I was looking at IMDb. You please
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, this feels like one of the stupider arguments they make Zero and Kung Lao have.
Oh, about should they go and kill
Well,
the Black Dragon
because
or not?
Zero's argument is if we wait, they're going to come back with 20 people. But his argument is we should go to where all of them are and do it first.
Well, there's definitely more than 20 of them.
And also, why do we have to follow your rules? Why can't we do what I want to do? Which is not anything
Yeah.
about needing to who makes the rules, because then you just want to make the rules.
Man, they just made up last episode, too, in the Noob Saibot one. Like, clearly they're not. Like, is this character growth for Zero? Did he learn his lesson last time and he's really like...
This is character growth for Zero because he's fucking drunk.
Zero's at Applebee's now. Too many 2-for-1 margs.
A gift.
Also, why does he not immediately, like,
Easy.
Like Pfeiffer.
why is he being persuaded with conversation?
Well, because he's drunk and she's going to get him drunker. But look at him. Like, his hair was all messed up. He's been there for hours at this point.
And then he just fixed his hair when he sat back up.
Yeah, well,
The man who took out two of my best men with one.
Best man.
again, she is Romanian.
I'm not. No, fuck off. Don't make it sound like I'm making fun of that. I'm making fun of just saying I'm going to say the word men for 35 seconds.
I mean, it was okay, fair. It was good. You're good.
Don't make me sound like a bad guy.
God, you're starting to sound like one of those Black Dragon gang members, Corey.
A knife in your throat. You
Oh,
see,
shit.
Sarah, we do think the same.
It is weird to see Zero like restraining it. I think that's what I was saying is instead of just like rushing off to like when he chased the Lin Kuei after they attacked the trading post, or when he ran off after Noob Saibot, he is trying to like coordinate with Kung Lao about dealing with the Black Dragon instead of just
Not yet. Right now,
taking it
he's just
into his
not
own
doing
hands.
anything.
But yeah, but now he's face to face with them, and he's holding back. He didn't just like reach across the table and like punch her, which I feel like 2 episodes ago Zero absolutely would have done. You know, I like that this is her recruiting tactic also.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think it's growth. I think he just recognized that there was probably a bunch of people outside and you might not win.
Probably.
Because his pitch was the 3 of us should go kick their ass, not I'm going to go kick their ass.
Right.
So-
He's like, I need some backup from the Mortal Kombat champion and Taja. Oh man. So this is now the scene where we learn that the Black Dragon steals people from Earthrealm and sells them into slavery in Outworld.
You promised me 12 slaves.
Only one passenger this trip.
I can only open the portal for slaves. You know that.
Do you think it's just white slavery like in Pacific Blue, or do you think it's just all kinds of slavery?
Probably all kinds.
That Pacific Blue episode sucked, dude.
Yeah, it did.
Disappointing.
Disappointed.
It is weird that so many people can just straight up open portals in this version of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's shockingly doable, which I find interesting.
Hey, there she is. It's Vorpax,
Well,
dude. We missed her last week.
I was about to say, though, it's disappointing how like even this part of the episode's not especially exciting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, cool, man. I will admit, though, that this episode is already fighting an uphill battle, and watching it here is not going to make me... It's not going to win me over.
Right.
You know?
You don't like seeing Jola make out with Shang Tsung?
I could take it or leave it.
Sure. While Vorpax watches, kind of disappointed.
When your father
looking.
betrayed me, and I swore to kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have him back, right? Because Shang Tsung and Vorpax were not in Noob Saibot.
Well, certainly. It's just this episode's not very good.
Right.
So it's just that thing where I'm just like,
Yeah.
Come to propose. Private.
Yeah, I don't buy the chemistry between Jola and Shang Tsung. It just doesn't feel...
I mean, I
feels
guess I believe it insofar
forced.
as Shang Tsung's just using it to his advantage, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's classic Shang.
He's
for
just
sure.
playing up a bit.
I do think, like, knowing what we know about Vorpax later, like, she's doing a good job. Vorpax herself is doing a good job acting in this scene. Like, acting like she's jealous or bothered by this because she's trying to keep Shang Tsung on the hook still. You know?
Right, yeah.
I think that's interesting. Can't wait for her big turn, though.
You haven't lived through them. You have no idea what you would be unleashing.
I know it is my destiny.
So she's trying to unlock the power of the Black Dragon, like a literal power that the clan is supposed to have that they don't use anymore. I think that's a Conquest exclusive Black Dragon trait, right? Especially because in the games we learned that the Black Dragon was a spin-off of a different clan called the Red Dragon and didn't exist way back when.
Right.
Yeah. But again, so we're in that territory of Conquest having to like make up mythology for like in history for established Mortal Kombat stuff that just didn't have it. I'm always a fan when they have to do that kind of stuff.
Perfect.
You know him.
Yes. My sworn enemy also. I will take great pride in delivering his head to you.
Kung Lao's like everyone who meets Kung Lao is like, okay, you're my sworn enemy now. I'm gonna say I thought that there was a lot more Greg Vaughn in this episode than there is.
Oh, it's minimal. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I should say what I was going to say earlier is this is another episode. Every single episode has Carrie Lauren credited as Warrior uncredited. She's on the IMDb for every single episode. I have no idea who she plays, like in the show at all, ever. It's just a weird IMDb thing.
They can be yours. You must bring me something before I release the ancient powers of the Black Dragon.
That portal sounds like the TARDIS. Okay, so this is fucked because he just told Jola that he needs her to bring him something to like awaken the Black Dragon power. He didn't tell her what it was that she needed to collect. Like she's just supposed to fucking know. Right?
She'll figure it out.
Yeah, clearly she'll figure it out because she does it. But it's just weird. Okay, how many apples are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's like 6 apples, dude. We just like upped our apple count like crazy. Would you call that 6 or 7?
I think we should go whenever needed with the highest possible number.
7, 8, 9, 10. So 12. 12 confirmed apples. As of death. Dragon. And has anyone gotten murdered yet? Because we're still at 15 fatalities and 1 Harakiri. Okay, yep, that's another one, huh? Master Leal. Master
Commercial
Leal
Paul.
murdered and pinned to the trading post.
Commercial's over.
Or by Jola, probably. Okay, so that's like 16 or 17 fatalities.
I guess Sarah's like, how do I make this about me? How do I make this about me wanting to feel like I'm right?
Until the demands of the Black Dragon are met.
One will die each day. Holy shit, that's gonna be a lot of fatalities, dude. I better clear space on this list.
He's just like, murder trade.
They put one of ours in the hospital. We put one of theirs in the morgue, right? Like the Untouchables.
It's just like,
right?
It's just like that.
Is it a Brian De Palma film?
Retaliating is not the answer.
You of all people must want to avenge his death.
Revenge was not his way, or mine.
Then what is? Sitting on your hands and meditating while they cut down your friends?
No, but neither is running out and butchering people.
Well, it's either that or back down.
It is funny seeing them go from like this impasse where they have to make up, and then immediately they're just like, well, we'll just make them argue again.
Just right at each other's throats one more time. Kung Lao's thinking, I wish I hadn't given him that knife. He's going to use it for murder.
I'll think of him. I'll have his body prepared for burial and take him home.
I also love how Ciro is so worked up over the death of the monk that he was absolutely taking advantage of for profit at the very beginning of the episode.
And I like how
I think he's got a little bit of guilt about that.
Ciro is like, are you just being a baby? And it's like, Ciro, he hadn't heard of them like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Give him a fucking second here, man.
He met them once, and then you told him a bunch of stuff. That's all he's operating on. Oh, is this the one where he captures someone and tortures them for the first time? It is, dude. Okay, here's Black Dragon Dad. Thirsty for wine. Do you think this is what he does all day? Is just sit on this chair and like never get his hands dirty?
Probably. I mean,
oh yeah, this scene is sick.
Oh yeah, the spinning medallion thing was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. Bam. Black Dragon Daddy murdered by question marks?
It is funny though that it's like, it's as if they were like, oh, we could have made these deaths more visually interesting this entire time.
Yeah.
And it just took 7 episodes to realize.
That was, I mean, a hell of a fatality, honestly. Like that's probably the most, like I think most of it was wine spilling, but that was like the most gruesome it's been so far. Right. And Raiden's here, and he and Kung Lao are taking a nightly walk like they do. So Raiden can be smarmy.
The one time Raiden shows up of his own volition, and Kung Lao's like, why?
Yeah. He's like, I'm used to you not coming when I need you.
Well, I'd kick the hell out of him myself, but then I'm a god. I could do that sort of thing.
Just
oh,
like that,
shit.
You're telling me to be no better than them?
Oh, no, you have to be better, much better to win.
I spent my whole life believing that aggression was not the way. I learned to fight, to defend myself, and to defend my realm.
This is pretty interesting, and it does make a lot of sense. Like, Kung Lao, as much as he was trained from birth to be a weapon, he was also taught to only be used in defense, right? Not to like go out and murder.
I will say I don't like this justification from Raiden at all. Where it's like 2 people showed up, they want to take the place that you live,
right?
And you are being a complete pussy if you don't go kill everybody because we've decided they're bad. And don't get me wrong, they are bad. But it's this thing where it's like, why is this the thing where everybody in this show is suddenly like, we need to stop what we're doing and just kill them all? Like, it just feels like a weird place to draw the line. If this institution has existed the entire time, right?
Yeah.
Ciro's like, it's been decades of this shit.
Yeah.
And
hundreds of years.
Now that
probably.
they've come to figure out the trading post and that's it, it's like, now we need to fucking kill everybody.
Now it's time.
And I don't care if you have misgivings about it, because you should just know that they're bad. And it's just like...
Ciro was trying to emphasize, like, look, they've hurt a lot of people.
I'm not saying they're not bad, but it's just like...
Now's the chance to stop them
a flaky
from hurting
argument.
everyone. Oh, it is. I mean, it's... You know,
if you're
it's
Kung
like
Lao, I get it, because it's just like, what's the point?
Sure, it's kind of like it's a moral question, right? Kill them all to like spare more people. It's like future crimes, right? Like they're gonna hurt more people if we don't take care of this. This Minority Report. It's I don't know. It's fucking Watchmen, right?
Right.
It's the
But at the
ending of
same time,
Watchmen.
you could easily just make the argument, the question of like, hey, why didn't anybody do anything before now? Then.
Because they didn't have a Mortal Kombat champion who's good at murdering people.
I just think like it does feel silly that it's like you've just drawn the line here now. And I can understand why if you're Kung Lao that feels arbitrary and kind of dumb. Like that's not to say don't do things to make bad people stop like doing murder. But you know, so that it is now suddenly the biggest thing in the world because you've become personally impacted by it feels kind of silly. Also, the idea that Ciro didn't see that fucking note is just outrageous.
No, he knew it was there. He was leaving it for. He's like, I need someone else to discover this and see it to justify me going to take action finally. That's what I think.
They only asked for Kung Lao.
He's not here. I'll handle it.
Okay, so there's no character growth. He is just back to his old self already. I want to talk about Cabral. I want to talk about Greg Vaughn for a little bit, dude. Because dude, did you know Cabral, Greg Vaughn was also in an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like a late like season 6 episode where he's set up in an arranged marriage with Sabrina, but falls in love with Sabrina's college roommate, who is played by Soleil Moon Frye. I watched that episode probably 3 times in November when I was just like hardcore depressed for a while. Did not recognize it was Greg Vaughn.
That's fun.
Until I looked it up yesterday.
This meeting's kind of fun, at least. Also, it's so fucking annoying for that he chooses to use the word leader just so Ciro can stand on his argument that they don't have a leader again. Like,
yeah. Greg Vaughn also. Go ahead.
It's frustrating how often in these early episodes, and I know that like this is what progression is, but how many times it's just like they're mad about a perceived dynamic that does not actually exist and then just continue having the same conversations about it.
Yeah, but that's just life, man. You know?
Yeah, but you think they'd figure this out by now, right? Like,
right. This fight's cool though.
Greg Vaughn just standing in the back with his arms crossed.
Well, yeah, he's a lover, not a fighter. I don't think he fights anybody in Poison Ivy: The New Seduction, or in. I bet he's thrown a punch in Days of Our Lives.
People tend to throw punches on Days of Our Lives.
Greg Vaughn also did the 2021. There was a Days of Our Lives Christmas special that was a Peacock original called Days of Our Lives: A Very Salem Christmas.
A Very Salem Christmas?
Yeah, I'm assuming the show takes place in like Massachusetts.
I thought they might have witches.
That was also that's the thing. He was in an episode of Sabrina, which also filmed in Massachusetts. Maybe dude just like likes the Massachusetts, like the Boston area, you know? He also he did back-to-back Christmas or back-to-back movies, one called A Very Country Christmas and one called A Very Country Wedding.
Interesting. I will say this fight's really good, actually. We haven't really
this
addressed
this fight
that.
rules. Yeah, this is the one where
That's 2 tables if you want to add that to the list.
They fuck up. All right, yeah. We'll count tables from here on.
Commercial.
2 broken tables.
Commercial's over.
At least.
I will say,
There
it is
dude.
so funny how he's like, Cabral's like, hey, can we talk about this? And Ciro's like, sure. Knocks him unconscious with a single punch, and then threatens him with a giant swinging saw blade like some kind of fucking nightmare, man.
Ties him to a table, and he's got a guillotine.
I will say, this is exactly the thing that clarifies Kung Lao's argument, and it does so in the funniest possible way, which is he's literally threatening him with a hanging saw blade. Torture time.
And Cabral is fucking squealing like a pig, telling him everything.
It is funny how Cabral was all talk. That is fun.
Yeah, that's why. Well, I mean, he didn't fight. I love Kung Lao just walks in like, what the fuck?
Hold
is
on,
going
hold
on.
on. Also,
where did the blade go? It's not swinging anymore.
He's holding it. They're holding it.
Yeah.
This is insane,
Okay.
Zero.
No, you're the one.
No,
who's
you're
insane.
the one who's insane.
No, Ciro, clearly you're the one who's insane right now, dude. Like,
He's literally doing the Palpatine thing of like, do it. Like,
yeah, yeah, yes.
I like how Cabral just is like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, like I am in way over my head.
Yes, it is just so strange how it's like, again, because let's be honest, Ciro did not have any attachment to the monk that died. So he's doing this
None.
because they showed up and wanted to take the trading post, and he's mad. Like,
He might
that's why
secretly
it's
be
clarifying
mad.
Kung Lao's argument in a weird way.
But also, maybe he is kind of secretly mad about the monk dying because the monk was such an easy mark for him to make money. And he's like, damn it, that was like, I'm not going to be able to fleece this monk anymore because he's dead. I'm going to kill the people who did this.
Why is he needlessly dragging Taja, who really has come up with like a fairly reasonable conclusion, which was just pay them and see if they'll leave? It's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Taja's so
She's
barely
not-
in the episode that I feel like Raiden should not be allowed to drag her in this discussion.
No, he shouldn't. Like, yeah, she is not involved in this conversation at all.
Why is it a war? This is the part where I feel like I relate most to Raiden being annoyed that they're fucking arguing.
Oh, yeah. He's over this.
Start looking inside for the answers.
You could have stopped at "you are useless." Ayo.
Taja did pick a side. Not all things are two-sided discussions. It is funny that Raiden just lays out what they need to do.
Oh shit. Illustrating his point by dropping a guillotine.
Yeah.
This episode is very decidedly anti-capitalism, isn't it?
Is the Black Dragon capitalism?
Yeah, I mean, all capitalism is commerce is just another word for stealing or whatever the fuck Ciro said at the beginning. Dude, are they just making out?
She's back.
Vorpax speaking on our behalf.
God, it is, yeah. Oh, but he's got the medallion. Jola murdered everybody. I can change these question marks. I am legit excited about the transformation. Bum, bum, bum.
Wow, what a big surprise.
Yeah, man. Did you like we as viewers connected those dots like when it happened, right? And certainly we knew for sure when we saw Jola with the medallion.
Yeah, I don't think there is any way you can watch this where you don't realize that instantly.
Sure, but the show still treats it like a reveal. Okay, special effects are pretty sick. Damn, son, she got bat wings.
And also a dragon head.
They're dragon wings. I just wanted to talk about bats a little more.
It is funny that she gets a dragon tattoo in the end. It's just on her leg instead of her face.
Right.
Which really means that she won the battle.
Maybe maybe that's where her tattoo was the whole time, because she was wearing pants and now she's wearing shorts, right? She's changed into her battle shorts.
Of the living dragon, a phrase that couldn't mean less if you said, like, it's so vague.
Yeah. All right. So the boys are trying to work it out.
Made my decision. I sent Cabral a note. Would have been nice to see it first.
I will say Kung Lao isn't doing himself any favors on the leadership debate by making unilateral decisions.
Yeah, they really need to work on their commercial. They really need to work on their communication skills. Like, that's the theme of like the first half of this show, is that they are just bad at communicating with each other.
It is funny how Cabral wins and now Jola just ruins it. Like,
yeah. Well, that's because violence doesn't help anything, man. But also, Cabral didn't actually win. Like, they were setting a trap. And sorry, you think that you did, Jola?
Yeah, Jola maybe had less to do with it than he did.
Yeah.
Because
she hasn't done anything with these powers yet. She just has them.
She also had one discussion with Zero.
Right.
And then
it did not go
went
well.
to Outworld twice.
Yeah, man. That was pretty slick, though, when her wings just sort of flared. Like,
what an underwhelming...
Cabral dead. Cabral killed by Jola. So she's killed 2 people, maybe 3, if she pinned the dude up to the door. She's pretty formidable.
What's funny... Okay.
Oh, here it is. And Taj is out of the fight.
This fucking show, man.
That is fucking sucks, dude. That sucks.
Oh no, a door. Like,
yeah.
God fucking damn it.
Bam. Don't hide behind the doors. So Jola's like shooting fire everywhere. It kind of rules. Her hands turn into little dragons every time she does. Like, I'm into that.
And now she's doing one-liners. I will say the lighting got a little bit interesting, at least.
This has the potential to be really cool.
And it just isn't. This is it. You're looking at the whole... This is what we're getting.
Yeah. Right.
We lit some stuff on fire, and she's just going to stick her arms out.
If they had courage, they would have given her that dragon head while she was fighting.
If they had courage or a budget.
Get some martial arts here. I'm down for that.
Yeah, this fight's fun.
2 boys trying to beat up a woman.
Well, they're definitely men.
Sure.
They're too huge. If you reach a certain swollenness threshold,
that's the defining line between boy and man is level of swole.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm glad we established that finally.
Yeah, somebody had to.
Sure.
I like how he also cartwheels or like hand plants away, even though he didn't have to at all, just because it's fucking cool.
just because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh no, her powers, they're drained, just like Sub-Zero's were. Right?
Because we have one gimmick.
Yeah. Oh no! And she's portaled away.
How did she know she could do that?
Like take the medallion off and teleport?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Earthrealm.
Her new powers weren't.
She made a deal with the devil.
Also, I do like how
They
they
figured that out quick.
This means that Zero convinced Kung Lao that the fight was the right decision.
Lady got her ass kicked.
That was a good Vorpax line.
Yeah, clearly it must not have been that hard for Zero to convince him, which makes it frustrating that we don't see the convincing because the whole episode is the argument. So,
right. Well, they'll clean it up at the end here.
As I knew you would. Their curse continues in you, feeding your power, but waiting.
I do like how she does seem to think that she got these powers with no downsides whatsoever.
There's always a downside. The powers in this series are always a monkey's paw.
Well, that's what I'm
situation.
saying. It's just such wishful thinking.
Yeah. But it really is the same as the Sub-Zero thing, right? Like I have these powers, I don't know how to use them yet, and they're killing me.
And now you're stuck in the Cobalt Mines.
Now you belong to Shang Tsung.
This will pay off in season 2.
Look at her. Look at Vorpax smiling.
Back. The powers are mine.
They are within you, but they are mine.
Oh snap!
Imagine thinking that Shang Tsung was going to be like cool to deal with.
Right. And we will never see you again. Imagine how sick it would have been.
Vorpax wins this episode.
Yeah, she does. If Jola had come back just
Commercial
as a
pulp.
literal dragon. Yeah, commercial.
God, that part
You
with
see the cartwheels again.
The commercial's over. That part with the fight is so short.
Yeah.
And I finally realized that if we didn't fight them, no one would. And I wanted the fight to be on our ground.
Ah. It's called a compromise in classic struggling marriage fashion.
Where's Taja?
Not buying again.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Fuck. Taja gets knocked out by the door. Is irrelevant in the final scene. And then they ask where she is and they go, "Oh, women be shopping." Gee, oh fuck. It's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, though, I think, was this the one where... Because I think the next episode is the one where she's in the... Yeah, Undying Dream, the one where she's in the cobalt mines.
It feels like they're compensating for sure.
Well, my theory is maybe they shot the 2 episodes at the same time because that was a heavy Taja one and less about the boys. So like maybe she was just off filming scenes for that episode.
Well, I also just think story-wise they realized they needed to do one of those.
Right, probably. I think that's likely. Yeah.
Is Jola dead?
Maybe not.
I mean,
But she's gone.
For now.
the good news is we get a lot of Taja next episode, right? The bad news is she got knocked out by a door in this one to make that possible. The end. Yeah, not a super great episode, is it?
No, like when you take it in the totality, even the stuff that's kind of neat or like scenes or lines that you like on an individual level, overall, it's just like, so what happened? They had the same argument they just finished having, essentially, and
yeah,
the Black Dragon plot meanders the entire time.
Yeah. And we don't really learn anything about the Black Dragon.
No, we know that it's at least 3 people. They're all related. 2 of them are now dead, and they didn't get along.
2 of them are now dead, and 1 of them is stuck in the cobalt mines, at least for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it has no actual bearing on the rest of the show at all because it's adjacent to the arguments and like moral discussions that they're already having. So you're not making a big leap in that character development, and then the Black Dragon just disappears.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, obviously, if this show had gotten 8 seasons like it deserved, they would have found a way for Jola to come back.
Sure. I also just think that like the episode's just underwhelming generally.
Hopefully just as a dragon.
Yeah.
She just comes back. Like full control of the dragon powers. She's just a dragon. That would have been kind of sick.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
The fighting is actually probably the best part of this one.
Yes, the Zero fight with the Black Dragon goons was solid. And when Jola like stopped just throwing fireballs and they actually did a little bit of fighting at the end, that was cool too. But not enough of it. There just wasn't enough of it for me in this episode. And then of course the scene where she murders her dad was pretty sweet. Visually interesting, something that hadn't been done on the show before. And I don't think they really do any scenes like that in the future either. It was just kind of a nice little set piece there.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it. Like, I'm going to say it. Like, if you like, this one is skippable, you know?
Yeah. No, you don't get anything out of.
Yeah. It doesn't build. It is. And the beats, I mean, the evil organization that secretly has their fingers in everything. And then, Zero wanting to just murder them all, and then the one special warrior from that tribe who gets special powers but can't control them and has to run away from the fight. It's almost the same exact story as the Sub-Zero episode, Cold Reality, like almost exactly the same.
Yeah,
just watch that.
It's just a less interesting execution in the end.
Yeah, just watch the Cold Reality twice. Let's wrap it up, man. We got more Black Dragon shit that you and I have to talk about.
Yeah, and equally questionable in some ways. I would say, if you want a little bit of a teaser for that.
I do have more to say about the comics than I do about this. Next episode will be the Malibu Mortal Kombat comic book miniseries, Mortal Kombat U.S. Special Forces. 2 issues. We're doing it in 1 episode because there's not a lot there, honestly. That's coming up next. Corey, what do you got going on, man?
The usual podcast and stuff. You know the deal. They made another one, which I do with Mitch and Liam, and I think the episode.
The one that came out yesterday is Gator.
Right. We already talked about it. Right. And then I do have an F1 podcast. I'm going to make the plug quick. It's called Strat 2, links, whatever. We haven't been able to do it in a while, so there's not much that's actually recent for that. So I'll make more of a deal out of that when we get to do it again. And then you can just follow me on Twitter and stuff, whatever, you know.
At Mr. Corey
You know
Price.
where it is.
You can find me on Twitter at Final Neil. Follow my retro gaming Instagram account at Final Neil Retro. Follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at MK Podquest. MKPodquest.com. Find links to all the podcast services, our YouTube channel, our store if you want to buy a Combat Time clock. Buy the clock. Just buy the clock.
Somebody has to buy the clock.
Yeah, someone's got to do it. ko-fi.com/MKPodquest. If you want to throw us a few dollars for having to sit through the Black Dragon episode again, we'd greatly appreciate it. You can also get there the cool way by going to supersecretwhitelotussociety.com. I feel like I forgot something, but we're just going to wrap the plugs up
If
there.
you know, you know.
Yeah, so it's the same every time. Like, we could probably do a pre-recorded thing and just drop it in at the end.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, that's not fun. It's like when like host read ads are always better than like whatever the bullshit ad that they drop in is, right? Because you get to be a little funny with it.
Acre Gold.
Yeah. /MK Podquest.